We're friggin' nobodies. We're Jacob and Noah. We're friggin' nobodies. Welcome to our show. We're friggin' nobodies. We don't know much. We're friggin' nobodies. We're old and out of touch.
Oh, hey, hi. How's it going?
Hey,
He's Jacob.
we're friggin' nobodies.
You still are.
He's Noel.
Yeah, it's true.
This one's about, I don't know the title yet, but it's something along the lines of why debate is useless.
Oh, I had a title. Debate is stupid.
Debate is stupid.
Yeah.
I like that as well.
Yeah, all right, that works.
Okay, I have a write-up here. It won't solve all the problems, but it might solve some of them. So I'm going to try and read it, and we'll see how it goes. You can look at his mug while I stare at the paper and try to read this thing.
I am not going to mug for you.
You can try a little bit. Okay. Words are odd things, and ideas made out of strings of words aren't much better. There's nothing solid there. It's all an abstraction, an approximation. I have frequently had ideas occur to me, just pop in my head seemingly out of nowhere, taking a second to come to me, and then spend over an hour struggling to express them. The truth is, they likely didn't just occur to me. They likely didn't just pop into my head at all. Chances are they had been percolating for some time, simmering around in my conscious and my subconscious, sort of being mulled over and considered. And then when they are ready, or at least my brain deems them worthy of consideration, they appear as if out of nowhere.
I thought you were going to go with, they were put there by the universe.
Which is a vampire.
It's never a vampire.
I think we change our mind in a similar way. And I tend to have a hard time trusting anyone who hasn't changed their mind before, who seems to be stuck in one mode all the time and can't consider other viewpoints. When we change our minds, it's frequently a long burn. I don't debate a friend about something meaningful and have them stop mid-debate and suddenly exclaim, "That's it, you've won me over, I've changed my mind," unless they say it sarcastically. And I don't think it should pan out that way. What generally happens instead is that we talk about something, not so much debate, and slowly, over weeks, months, years, who knows, a mind is changed. And you don't know the exact moment it happened. It's hard to pinpoint, but one day you look back at an old opinion you wrote down and you realize you don't agree with it anymore. Sure, occasionally you may have a revelation that changes you, but that's the outlier in my experience. Mostly I have opinions and they float around, altering now and again, and I don't even realize they've changed until I am confronted by it. Either I see myself in an old video, read an old comment, or some friend calls me out on it.
That's always a tough one, man.
Like I said, it's a slow burn most of the time. This is why, mostly, I find debates tedious, dull, and performative. People rarely enter debates ready to have their mind changed. They like to think they will change their minds, but it probably won't work out that way. Even the audience is mostly there like they're at a sports arena, cheering on their team. I don't walk away from a hockey game suddenly liking the Tampa Bay Lightning. Screw hockey teams in Florida. They shouldn't even exist there.
You did like John LeClaire, though.
I did.
Despite being a Leafs.
He won me over. I walk away angry the Leafs lost, or, admittedly it's rare, happy they won. Debates aren't significantly different than that. We watch them like we're watching a soccer match, ready to pummel anyone who doesn't agree with us, to intellectually bully them using rhetoric and wordplay. Besides, just because you can win a debate doesn't prove you are right. It only proves you are better with words on that particular topic, and your version of better with words may be convincing to some, but absolutely absurd and unconvincing to someone else.
It's like an IQ test.
Because we don't all think the same way. We are messy, complicated, illogical creatures despite our efforts to be otherwise. We may aim at it, but we fail. And I say, who cares? Did I really write that? All I want from my interlocutor is that they be interesting. Interestingly wrong at times, but interesting nonetheless. Give me something to consider. Let's talk. If I don't agree with you, that's fine. I couldn't care less. But give me something to ponder, and I'll do my best to do the same. And listen. You mostly know what you think, but despite our arrogance, we don't know what the other person thinks. Not really. So listen. Once we realize that debate isn't going to change people's opinions in real time, once we realize that we frequently change our minds and rarely notice it happening, we are free to discuss controversial topics we don't agree on without feeling like we are rooting for a team. We can discuss them abstractly and be more calm about it. We aren't on the attack all the time, but trying our level best to raise our concerns while accepting that our concerns and beliefs may be nonsense. Humans are fallible, we are limited, we exist within our experiential framework, and there's no escaping it. So don't worry so much. Stop thinking everything is at stake all the time. If you let go of your righteousness, you may be able to actually communicate rather than lecture. you may actually have more success talking to people and hearing them, because ultimately the goal should not be to prove you are right and the other person is wrong. Ultimately, the goal should be to find truth, and you're not doing that alone.
I'm going to say that's pretty close to perfect for what I've written, because I had the topic debate is stupid.
By perfect, you mean the same as yours?
No, not at all. I had the topic debate is stupid, and I'd pre-written my counterpoint, which was you're stupid.
Oh.
And then I had counterpoint, I'm right. A counterpoint, I know a guy who says I'm smarter than you because you're dumb. And allow me to rebut, you're too stupid to know you're... Like, all of this is the debate that you end up seeing.
I'm going to point out to the audience, that's what he actually wrote down.
Yeah, it was actually my rebuttal.
I wrote this.
I wasn't even supposed to write for
I had
the
to
debate
put it
thing.
in 10 point to fit on the goddamn page.
I don't even have 10 points, so, I won the debate and didn't have to put in as much effort.
But this is one of the reasons all those online, Jordan Peterson fights 100 atheists, or Charlie Kirk argues with woke liberals and all this garbage.
Now, clearly, boots are much better than shoes. Shoes are for peasants. Boots are for fascists and Nazis to stomp on the proletariat.
I think it's all a waste of time.
Well, it's debating rules, so there's set rules for it, just like there is for chess or boxing or what have you. It's a spectacle of how you can use and manipulate the debating rules. Debate is stupid. It's a fight for show.
It's performative, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, I
and
agree with that.
it's preposterous. And if you sit and watch enough of these things, you get a respect for the methodology, but it's so hard to convince. The only reason I watch them anymore is if you're watching a high-end debate, sometimes you get two smart people that know more than you do, and you get to learn a lot. But I don't walk into it and go, oh no, I didn't know much about this topic, but that one guy, he was really good at it, so that's what I believe.
Sometimes I like the witticisms. Like if I'm watching Christopher Hitchens or something,
Yeah,
I might
Christopher
not
Hitchens is great.
I might not agree with him.
Sorry, was great.
I frequently don't agree with him, but it doesn't matter. He says some clever, funny
Yes.
things, and
that's
sort
his
of on
performance.
the fly. Yeah, it's performative.
Yeah.
There's no point doing that alone in a room.
Well, there is to practice for your debate.
I guess, but it's
So if you want to go way back here, so way back, you and I used to have, they weren't really, well, they might have been debates, but they were discussions at volume in public.
about God.
About a number of topics, art, whatever.
Sure.
And it was a little performative.
Oh yeah.
And we definitely weren't
We would
trying
look
to
around, we'd see people kind of eavesdropping,
That's
and
right.
we'd kind of
And then
up our game a little bit to
entertain them.
People would come over and want to join sometimes
Yeah.
because we were successful at doing it.
Yes. So I'm
Hence the arrogance to think that we should be doing this, which we probably shouldn't.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I talked to a fella today because those trailers that we put up here from the No Rust film studio,
Right.
the ones we put up here, they don't get nearly as many views as this. And
Well-
that boggles my mind.
Well, not always. Our last is doing horrible, but
What
the
is
trailer. I don't know, but whatever it is, it's not doing well. You can look it up, but
You'll know it. It's at the
Whisper from
bottom.
the Edge of Eternity is at like 90 views for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
Not our strongest one, but it's
No.
fine. I like it.
No. That's weird.
Anyways, it's at 90 views, and whatever the friggin' Nobodies is at about 30. It's random. We're going to talk about that next episode. We
Yeah,
don't chase
not important.
algorithms anyways, nor do we care.
No, but the performative bit that we were doing, that was it was to engage people to join in. And debate is not that at all.
No,
Which
no.
is why it's stupid. It's incredibly exclusionary, and it's scoring points. And the versions that they have on the television, where they get a bunch of panelists in to have a discussion, and it's just 5 dudes in a room screaming at one another. Makes no
Those are
sense.
really horrible. The ones on YouTube are generally more controlled. Sometimes they're in
Yes.
a university environment. You know, it's not always Charlie Kirk talking to woke leftists. Sometimes he goes to Oxford and they debate back and forth. And I think those are stupid too, for the most part.
They are.
These are Oxford University students. They're intelligent enough people. But I really do think they're playing games of rhetoric, games of wordplay, trying to trap people in logic problems. They're not actually trying to find truth.
No.
Now, they may
No.
accidentally say things that, like you say, if they're smart enough people, that give you realizations or make you consider something differently. but it doesn't really feel like they're honestly searching for truth. It feels like they're taking on a role for the sake of having this game where they prove they're better at a thing.
It's intellectual bullyism. If you see it in the 100%. Wild. I don't know about it when it's organized, but it's...
I'm drinking tea today.
Yeah, me too.
I'll have a beer again soon. By next episode.
I'll have tea again someday. Yeah, the debate is so frustrating.
Well, because I think people...
And I wish it was for exploration. I wish it was to explore a topic.
They should be able to play devil's advocate back and forth. They'll be able to switch sides if they have to. If you're mid-debate with somebody and you suddenly think of a really good point they could bring up, you could do one of two things. If it's a debate, you won't bring up that point. Matter of fact, you're hoping the other guy doesn't bring up that point, and you may say little rebuttals to it before they bring it up just to buffer yourself against that possibility.
That's happened to me a number of times where you think, oh yeah, I'm done. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, that's disingenuous, dishonest. I don't like it. If you do think of something, you say, you know what? I just thought of something. And you just blurt it out and you tell everybody what you thought of, even if it shoots you down for a little bit. And then you have to rebuild back up again. That means is it called dialectic, I think?
Could be.
When you're actually trying to work together to discover a truth of some kind.
Yes.
Rather than just mano a mano.
Sorry, you threw me with the dialectics. All I could think of was Apocalypse Now.
Oh, no.
Dennis Hopper screaming about dialectics. You can't, you're 1/2, 1/3, can't land on a fraction, man.
My second favorite film version of Heart of Darkness, whatever it's called. First would be the Werner Herzog one.
I think Werner Herzog is well worth watching.
Oh, yeah, he's fantastic. Even if you just listen to him speak, the guy's great to listen to.
Yeah,
I would be darker and more
I would take
hilarious.
such a debate browbeating from that dude.
Oh, I would gladly.
Yeah, just to listen to him
just take it.
Berate me, that'd be great.
Totally fine.
That would be very performative. I think he's on all the time.
So those people who are doing that, they're going on to university campuses and debating, or they're whether it's students or professors, or if it's more enclosed environment where it's all polite and everyone sits there, or whether it's the raw shame type that they do outside.
Excuse me.
All of those things, to me, are roughly the same kind of thing. The people doing it are generally looking to build a career of some kind, much like a stand-up comedian is, of being a public speaker. They're not really that interested in what's right or what's wrong, or of discovering a truth. They're more entrenched in their individual position, trying to build a following of some sort.
That's why I love watching hippies debate. Like the people, like the heavy environmentalists, get into a debate with like someone who's a professional debater. They always come off as looking silly because they're there for something they believe in. They're not debaters, and they just get lambasted. It's like, oh boy, this is embarrassing.
Well, because debate's a very specific art form.
Yes.
And if you're arguing with someone who's really stupid, and those people do exist, whether we want to admit it or not. Hell, I'm them
Case
a lot of the
point.
time. Yeah, there you go. I was already saying it before he pointed out.
I had to reach for the paper.
But if you're arguing with someone really stupid, you may be able to pick up a position you know is wrong and win a debate holding that position.
Gosh.
Like I said, It doesn't mean you're actually right all of a sudden. It just means you're better at doing that thing than they are.
We brought this up just...
And that's intellectual bullying, as you point out.
It was just before. One of the things that always stuck in my head, because I do like conspiracy, was... the one time you came and told me you got into a debate with a flat earther. Yeah, and they did something very clever, and they said, if you believe the earth is a sphere, prove it to me. And they had a counter argument for everything, and you walked away and you told me, I lost a debate to a flat earther, so I guess I believe in flat earth now. And
he was using ridiculous arguments, mind you, mainly based on believing in magic, but nonetheless.
That's fair, but it doesn't matter. If you lose a debate, you're convinced. Never happens.
No, it doesn't happen. And besides, he was coming up with ridiculous arguments, but it didn't matter. right? Because there was nothing I could do to get around them. If you want to tell me
No.
that when they fly into space, that God has done some magic thing to trick them, there's no way out of that.
If you want to tell me that there's such a thing as space, I'm going to tell you you're out of your mind.
Yeah,
That's an illusion.
I could tell the guy, oh, so God just teleported them? That's the most ridiculous thing. I could say all these things that I want. It's not going to help the conversation. I'm not going to win the debate. I'm probably going to alienate the guy. Forget about ever talking to him again. And you may say, why bother talking to him again? Look, people who really believe that God comes and magically teleports you around to fool all of society, they can be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
You might not want to admit it.
Also, they do live in your community, and you can only piss off so many of those people before it goes sour.
Yeah. What are you gaining?
Nothing.
Right? This person could be a friend. You might not agree with them on that, but
Yes.
ultimately, does it even matter? Like, if the world is flat or the world is a sphere, it makes no difference. I'm not doing anything about it. I'm not about to run around the world.
It doesn't change how I clean the dishes.
Yeah, it doesn't change how I walk my dog, how I love my family. None of the normal things I do in my day-to-day life are altered by this one way or the other.
Yeah. And I mean, if that's the case, let Big Sphere keep collecting their money. It doesn't matter to me. Do whatever they want with it. Their political agenda is certainly round or spherical based, and that's good. Ovoid based for the spheroids out there. I know you're watching.
Because it's not a perfect sphere.
That's right. It's an ovoid, baby.
Fair enough. I don't know what the word means, but I guessed roughly what it was.
Yeah, egg-like.
Is that what it means?
No.
What I'm more interested in right now, and it's got nothing to do with debate, but we brought up the word preposterous, and I believe you told me a story the other day
Yes.
about preposterous being a mythological medieval monster.
Yes.
Okay, could you tell that? Could you tell the people at home about preposterous?
From what I remember about preposterous, it was a mythological medieval monster that shared one body, and instead of a tail, had two heads. Like,
Right, a head on each side.
yeah, two snakes over a moon.
Kind of like Ouroboros.
Or the Conan movie.
Right,
And
yes.
Ouroboros had eating its tail.
Eating its
No,
tail,
it was like,
right, it's not
it was
two
like
heads.
Conan.
Sorry,
That was
sorry.
a preposterous sign because it had two heads to the same body.
Right, okay, yeah.
But, and it means pre and post, as you say, Saurus.
Yeah. It's not Saurus. I was joking about that, but I guess he remembered. Anyway, so I love that. So preposterous was an actual monster that was considered impossible to exist, and the word came from that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah, I gotta.
Not related to debate, but
No.
I thought it was a good enough aside. We used the word here already that Noel should probably tell the story.
Oh, it's a good one. Words are awesome.
I'll try to edit this to put a picture of preposterous or prepostosaurus
Preposterous.
is somewhere in this video. Who knows?
And we'll use AI for it because AI is our best friend. Right, Basilisk?
Yeah, I'll all know that. So back to debate. I don't know if I have much more to say about debate. We're only at
Not much.
17:20, but we might fill it out with. We have
This became a discussion and not a
we have a
debate.
sponsor.
Yeah.
Actually, our sponsor is Debate is Stupid. So the people from Debate is Stupid are going to play their commercial
Right now.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that.
I didn't.
I don't know if it
Like, if
illustrated
you
our
ask me
point or
right
not.
now, I have no memory of that commercial.
You can't say that because they're sponsoring us. So when they give us their hard-earned money to try to squeeze their little ad into our show, we have to be polite about it and say
you're
that they had a
asking a lot of
very,
my acting
very
abilities here.
fair point.
Yes, I agree. I'm all for debate. I'm all for debate is stupid.
This tea didn't come for free.
No. And gosh, I wanted to come in and debate you about debate, but it is stupid, and I think it was just a discussion. So if you came here expecting a debate, sorry.
Yeah, you can go check them out. Go check out Roger Scruton and Christopher Hitchens do one on beauty. It's really about God, but it's sort of disguised as one about beauty. And that's pretty good. That's about as good as they get, I think, as far as the God, no God thing goes. I like both of those guys.
Yeah. The only one that I've watched recently, because I don't have much of a stomach for it, is that atheist dude that's always arguing. The young kid. I want to say Alex something, but I never remember his name.
Has he got a podcast?
He could. I don't know. Like I said, I stumbled across it a couple times. I enjoyed it. It seems to be on a high level. I learned a bunch of philosophical terms that I had to look up. It was educating.
That can be fun. Be fun. I'm not interested in the actual debate part. Like I said,
I like the edumacation. That's the part that I
I've
like
watched
best.
these things. You can watch them for entertainment. You can watch them to learn something. But I don't think you should be watching them like a sports fan.
And you shouldn't be watching them to learn how to debate, because debate is stupid.
Look, if you want to go make a living doing that kind of thing, and you're
stupid,
charismatic and you like doing
he's
this
saying it, not me.
performative thing,
Don't come after me for
go
this.
for it. You can make a lot of money if you get good enough at it and you have enough charisma.
And there's a lot of reprehensible things you can do with a lot of charisma to make a lot of money.
There is. One of the problems, though, that happens with these people, this is the last thing I'm going to say because we're at 1930-something here.
Good Lord.
Is that if you become one of those people who, like a Charlie Kirk or a Tim Pool or something, who you go out and you present your viewpoint, your political viewpoint, your religious viewpoint, that kind of thing, and you start to build up a following on that and you start making money on that, after a while you dig yourself a hole where you can't say things that would piss off your audience too much or you lose them, right? If you lose that audience, you lose your money. So you have a financial interest in keeping that opinion in roughly the same place that your audience is. If you don't build an audience like us, you're free to say whatever the hell you like.
Or like that dude from...
or if you build it just on being
show?
somebody who's not, entrenched in a particular viewpoint.
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden when they say something, it comes off as disingenuous because they're somewhat obligated financially to have a consistent opinion that stays with their audience. And if they go outside so when you hear them, you're like, well, of course that's what you're going to say because you can't piss off your audience. And they may not even know it. If we suddenly got, 10 million followers and hundreds of thousands of dollars for having a particular viewpoint.
Looking at you, Internet.
We would have a really hard time jumping away from that viewpoint because the money would be sweet. And how do you let go of that? And you may not even know you're doing that. Yeah. That could be your subconscious playing with you.
And so, because it's so performative, you end up like that dude from the Big Bang Theory. The guy who plays Sheldon. You're never going to be able to watch that guy in any movie. He's always going to be Sheldon.
They could, those types, I know who you mean, that guy, but those types of people, they can sometimes play a role that's so far against type that it can help them break away from it.
Yeah, you really need to
I've seen a few people
though.
do it. Was it Elijah Wood who played the bad guy in That Yellow Bastard? The
Yes.
Sin City thing? And that was far enough away from type that, of course, it didn't. Everyone still sees him as
he's
Frodo.
He's going to be Frodo forever.
Yeah, everyone still sees him as Frodo. But he managed to pull it off in that movie because it was so far against his type.
But, you do something that iconic that has that much play in culture, whether it's Charlie Kirk or...
you end up at conventions 40 years later signing Sheldon T-shirts.
Yeah, angry.
Like all the Star
angry.
Trek people. And
Yeah.
I love Star Trek, so...
Poor James T. Kirk. I can't remember what they said about him. Someone said something along the lines of he looks like a ventriloquist dummy that came to life and started touching
William
kids.
Shatner?
No, the guy from...
Oh, the Sheldon dude.
the Sheldon dude. And they made him read that text. That was mean. But anyway.
Anyways, I love Star Trek, and that's the end of our episode.
Good way to end. So we're going to go watch Star Trek. You should too. And, let's not debate that.
All right, cheers. Love you guys. Have a great week.
See you next week.